If you are trying to figure out when to use cost caps, bid caps, lowest cost, highest volume, target ROAS, bidding strategies on Meta, I'm breaking it down for you, specifically for Shopify and e-commerce brands, because there's a lot of numbers that go into the back end of figuring out your bidding strategy, as well as your caps. If you're interested, let's get into the video. Hey guys, my name is Chris Morano, founder of Blue Water Marketing, an agency that works with 7-figure Shopify brands to help scale them to 8 figures with paid media and retention. And part of paid media, a huge factor that I play into this is meta ads and scaling efficiently, effectively, without necessarily always relying on Mark Zuckerberg to deliver the results I'm looking for. So before we get into things, I am a huge advocate for cost controls, like a huge fan of bid caps. I've made a bunch of videos. If you want those, you can click there. If not, I'm going to break down cost caps, bid caps, highest volume, and where they all play in the grand scheme of your meta ads strategy. Over the last 7+ years, I've worked with over 150 brands implementing this system into their business. So without further ado, I just want to start by understanding use cases for each of these cost control campaigns. So highest volume, basically going to be the standard that most people are setting up in their ad account. It's just going to be Facebook will go and try to get as many purchases as possible based on your budget. The algorithm takes into account a number of things, engagement being one of them, your average order value, the likelihood of the conversion rate taking place or being above where it should be, random things going on in highest volume. So I do want to say there is a place for highest volume. Personally, I think that place is in the testing phase. If you guys have seen any of my videos, you know we have a calculator that we take the total monthly budget and we establish 15 to 20% of that budget will go to testing. I like running testing on highest volume because we're not necessarily looking for the complete efficiency that we can get out of the account. Instead, we are looking for account level metrics to show that these creatives are outperforming the account averages. I can show you in a second to just lock you in to see what I'm talking about, but I get super excited about Meta because it's like how I scale a ton of brands. I like to do that in a structured ABO campaign, highest volume. So we're not letting those run forever. We are looking to validate our ideas and concepts of the ads to see if we can outperform account averages. Where we get into cost controls is going to be in the scale phase. Essentially, I'm putting cost caps and bid caps in place because I don't necessarily trust Mr. Mark to take my clients thousands and thousands of dollars every day to get them the results that my clients have trusted me to get for them. So I try to put some constraints, and I'm going to get into the math equations of how to establish your cost controls or your bid cap specifically in order to scale. So here is one of our ad accounts, and you'll see in the last 30 days, we've spent $92,000. From a purchase conversion standpoint, 126 out of 1.37. You guys might be like, wow, you guys suck, but I can assure you, based on how the business works, we are not sucking. That $92,000 has actually generated $268,000. So we're at roughly a 2.7x, pretty much at scale. Based on the market size, we know we can push more, which we are doing, which is why we have bid controls set in place. And so within our bid caps, we have it segmented out by different products and collections. This one's new. You can see the two that have been running the longest are this one and this one, spending a total of $27,000. These other two are relatively new. So in 2 campaigns, we've spent $30,000, roughly $1,000 a day on these. Now, what I want to do is get into our bid cap calculator. So what you can see here is I've created this calculator. We have a CPA goal of $40. What I want to do is with bid caps, essentially what is happening is we want to get into how much we are willing to acquire a new customer for and give that information to Meta. The reason we need to know what our CPA needs to be, or our CAC, is that we are willing to pay X amount of dollars to enter the auction with the likelihood of a conversion taking place. The way this is happening on the back end is conversion rate, engagement, and the person's likelihood of purchasing. So essentially, we're just trying to figure out when to put our ads into a specific placement within the auction that has a high likelihood of purchasing. Bid caps are set in place that if our bid is too low, we will never enter the auction. Therefore, we never spend $1. On the reverse of that, if our bid is too high, we are going to spend our entire budget and might not actually be anywhere near the efficiency that we need it to be. I hope this is making sense. It's essentially trying to understand the algorithm based on CVR, conversion rate, how much we're willing as a business, understanding the variable costs and everything that goes into fulfilling a product to a customer, as well as whatever information the algo knows about the person and when they're likely to purchase. And so in this scenario, we have a $40 cost per acquisition or CAC. What I start to do is break down a very granular approach to a percentage of the bid based on the CPA. Because what'll happen if you're running bid caps, you'll know this. Essentially, we might have the $42 bid, although it is higher than the $41 bid, the 42 based on how Meta is implementing our creative, our ads into various placements. The higher bid might get a better placement, which means we'll get a better efficiency based on how many purchases are taking place. And I see this happen all of the time, that a slightly higher, the 42.40 might outperform the 4160. And you'd think, well, it's a lower bid, so I'm trying to get higher efficiencies, but it's not really the case because the 4240 is actually getting better placements. So this is how granular we are breaking down bid caps. $40, we want a 2.5% increase in that to get to a 41, so forth and so on. I want to see all these different variances to figure out what is my median, call it 4480, and I'm going to go 3 lower and I'm going to go 3 higher, and I'm going to have 6 different ad sets running at a CBO level in order to determine which one is performing best. So you can see over the last 30 days, this specific campaign has spent $15,000. We are working at an efficiency right below our actual CPA is $30.66. And this one up here was actually a higher bid than these ones down here. Going back to what I was saying is that it all comes down to the efficiencies in volume. So then if you look at the rest of these, we were getting almost the lowest. We did hit one lower down here at $27, but we didn't get the volume. The volume came at 319 purchases at this specific bid. CPA is 40, bid cap was $50.40, and our cost per purchase was coming in at scale at $28. It really becomes a mathematical equation and test. That's why I said pick the median, go 3 below, 3 above. You will blow through a budget if you set a bid too high. I can promise you that. So be very wary on how you're setting these bids. You have to understand the financial metrics associated with your ecom store. And if you're looking for more bid cap videos, I have a bunch of them. Click the link right up here in the Facebook ads playlist. I have bid cap and cost cap videos everywhere. To get a little bit more granular, we'll go into cost caps now. All right, so you guys can see in this account, there's been $140,000 spent in the last 30 days at 1.37. Again, same exact framework that I just showed you, same thing that we're trying to accomplish. $30 or less cost per purchases. We are at 31 right now. The reason being there's just tentacles of this, that there's direct correlation with purchase conversion values based on the Meta performance. So I want to show you a cost per result campaign. So this one has volume, right? We're talking 248 purchases, cost caps, baby. So overall, we have cost controls set up. The difference in cost controls is that Meta is going to take a 7-day average to hit your target cost per result goal. Bid caps, we're looking to pay to get into the auction hood with a high likelihood of conversion taking place. Cost caps are going to be an average of 7 days to hit your cost per purchase goal. So those are going to be the biggest things. And you can see we have a cost per result of $17.00. And we, based on the creative, have accomplished that here at a 1.78x ROAS. Now you can see 3.15 here sounds way, way better, but we're not getting any scale behind it. It's kind of picking up the leftovers. This one is performing at scale with a 1.78 cost per purchase of $15. So absolutely winning, crushing this. So I hope seeing and understanding how these all set up and establishing what your goal is with this. I just showed you a total of $300 something thousand over the last 30 days spent with $500,000 of revenue in 30 days using scale based on cost controls. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you would like something like this to look like your ad account and you would like an audit, my team right now is doing free audits with our 5-step profit accelerator system to establish all of the financial KPIs, LTV to CAC ratio, what your CAC is, your MER, your AMER, your contribution margin, and being able to project them out for the future. We're offering that right now, absolutely free. Click the link down below, book a call with me, and we will walk you through information and numbers about your business that you don't even know. I hope you guys found this video useful, helpful, informative. If you did, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.